Now let us explore the place of Creative Commons in the domain of media laws. Creative Commons license facilitates the free distribution of a copyright work. Such kind of copyright comes to the fore when an author wants to give people the right to share, use and build upon a work that they have created. Creative Commons provides author flexibility for non-commercial uses and prevents the people who use or redistribute an author's work from concerns of copyright infringement as long as they abide by the given conditions. When the CC is compared to the traditional form of copyright license, the former has ample options in terms of sharing creative works and digital contents and hence has expanded to a global traction. However, it is not the alternative to traditional copyright format. The establishment of Creative Commons, India attempts to bring awareness of license and open educational resources. Since there has been a shortage of free licensed images in India, it has plans to connect the photographic communities. While launching of the National Repository of Education Resources, the former Minister of State for Human Rights Resource Development, Shashi Tharoor, stressed that minimally restrictive Creative Commons license visions for the NROER contents which can go for reuse, revise, remix and redistribute based on a philosophy of openness and sharing and not on monetizing strategies. The restrictive fences encourages an equitable, accessible and innovative world within the framework of law. It is quite apparent that IP rights are plagued with numerous issues. There have been certain issues over IP enforcement. The bureaucratic delay is noted blockages. There is a backlog of cases at both civil and criminal courts. The absence of reasonable amount of transparency at local level also brings infringement to the Act. I will discuss few other laws in the field of media. Official Secret Act 1923. The Official Secret Act 1923 is India's anti-espionage scheme into existence since the British rule. The Act asserts that an individual cannot approach, inspect or even pass over a prohibited government site or area. That also states that helping an enemy state can be any form of sharing or sketch, plan, model, an official secret or of official codes of passwords. One should strictly know this act if he or she is into the profession of journalism. Attempts have been made to make this less draconian of this colonial era law. Now, let us discuss the defamation law in India. The right to free speech was not an absolute right. Defamation refers to causing harm to someone's reputation by making a false or derogatory statement against someone without any lawful justification. The defamation can occur by spoken words, slander or written words, libel or visual representation. Criminal defamation has been accommodated in the Indian Penal Code sections 499 and punishment up to 2 years in jail is prescribed in section 500 IPC. Individuals and media organizations including social media platforms can be prosecuted for defaming someone. As per media laws, defamation is a rational restriction on free speech prescribed under the Constitution. Similarly, media freedom is restricted in the light of privacy of individuals. In the production of any media content, showing respect to individuals' privacy is of utmost importance. Now, I will highlight cyber laws in India. Information Technology Act 2000. The Information Technology Act 2000, comprising 94 sections divided in 13 chapters and 4 schedules, is an act of the Indian Parliament dealing with cybercrime and electronic commerce. There have been noted cases under section 66 and section 66A. India's apex court, Supreme Court, has struck down section 66A law. The controversial law that made posting offensive comments on social media a crime punishable by jail. This law was proved unconstitutional as it was posing potential restrictions on freedom of speech. In this context, citing the infamous incident of arrested two men running a web hosting company by Delhi police in 2001. That time, police charged the men for hacking under Section 66 of the IT Act and breach of trust under Section 408 of the Indian Penal Code. The freelance cartoonist Asim Trivedi was arrested in 2012 under the Section 66A of the IT Act and for sedition under the Section 124 of the Indian Penal Code. The cartoon showing the rampant corruption was treated offensive. Besides these laws, the strict data privacy rules and Section 66 of Information Technology Act was relevant to reckon with when someone goes for digital production. Introduced in 2011, the strict data privacy rules were proved to be draconian. The law demands firms to obtain written permission from the customers before collecting and using their personal data for various purposes. The Section 69 of the Information Technology Act permits intercepting any information and asks for information description. However, such kind of activity should involve in public emergency. An individual who is engaged in digital media production should have awareness of such cyber laws in India. He or she should have the knowledge on the basis of internet security, basic information on Indian cyber law, impact of technology aided crime, Indian IT Act on covering the legal aspects, internet policies required for a firm and amount of hardware and software security measures required in a firm to protect data. Now, I am going to highlight the authorities regulating media industries. Discussion of certain authorities regulating media industry in the ambit of media laws is of paramount importance. Ministry of Information Broadcasting, Government of India controls the entities like broadcasting policy, cable television policy and administration, radio, Doordarshan, films, advertising, visual publicity, press publications, research and reference and various subordinate and autonomous organizations, public sector undertakings. The ministry is engaged in disseminating information and entertainment to the society by striking a right chord between the public interest and commercial requirements. However, sometimes the body is accused of not regulating the contents and invites issues. The case of disability can be cited in this context. While covering the issues of disability, the ministry should understand the judicious modalities in consultation with various stakeholders of the society. Headquarters in New Delhi, the Press Information Bureau is the nodal agency of the government involved in sharing information to the print electronic media on government programs and policies. It acts as an intermediary between the government bodies and media outlets. Directorate of Advertising and Visual Publicity is engaged with delivering communication needs of almost all central ministries, department, autonomous bodies and PSUs. Similarly, bodies like Directorate of Advertising and Visual Publicity, Registrar of Newspapers for India, Directorate of Field Publicity, Press Council of India, Film Certification Appellate Tribunal, Central Board of Film Certification, the Advertising Standards Council of India, Copyright Board, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India also regulate the media industries in India. Now, let me to conclude the topic. Overall, the discussion on the implementation of media laws and media regulations remains a debatable topic, since news media attempts to solve the normative functions for the society. Regulation of media should identify and emphasize on the layers of control, ownership and media praxis, which helps in expanding the media outlets. The policy should consider the shifts and expansions in media in terms of technology, legal and anthropology. Considering the positive sides of self-regulations and monitoring on the part of media, it can deliver a greater degree of flexibility and active industry involvement. Needless to say, Creative Commons or concepts enable to share the knowledge and creativity to create a more equitable, accessible and innovative world within the framework of law. However, in the countries like India, there is a low level of awareness on it and remains in the state of infancy. People are yet to know the legal nitty-gritties of such kind of copyright in India. In addition, since every law can be misused, care should be taken for the well-being of the society. I hope this lecture helps you to understand media laws better. All the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.